Yes, we're going to call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll for us.
Here. Bender.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Sellers.
Here.
Sellers. Hey.
Here. Okay. All righty. I need a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
July 1st.
Yep, July 1st minutes, which you guys
I move
can.
for approval of July 1st minutes.
A second.
Martin. Motion by Bender, second by Sellers.
Just
Need a voice.
vote.
Yep, voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Flag.
Oh,
Are we playing football?
Thank you.
Not yet.
Okay. No one opposes. No? All right. Okay. Now I need a motion to accept claims and demands so we can have discussion about that.
I make a motion to accept the claims and demands for July.
I need a second. Motion by Bender, second by Sellers. Okay.
I have some questions.
Yes, by all means.
On page 1,
Mhm.
the VAC,
Mhm.
the electric bill for this building is $567 a month,
Yes, and it's.
and we're paying half, is that right?
Mhm.
We better be turning off some lights in this building. That's ridiculous. Our building's just as big as this, and it doesn't run like that.
Okay.
I think there's something,
didn't we get a special rate or something?
I thought her and Marna, Sheila and Marna were
Well,
supposed to be doing
somebody
that.
gave us a proposal about a better rate, didn't they, Marna?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I think it's First Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the whole city is? What's the whole city with?
I think that
I'm still calling that.
No,
I think it's First Energy.
It's the same one in the state of.
Okay.
Then on page 3, in the middle, Brian Borchard and Marcy Borchard, are
Mhm.
these husband, wife, or?
Yes, yes.
And they each own a house, or?
I think they're. Yeah, he owns quite a few. I'm thinking that.
Yeah, I know he does.
I don't know.
Okay, if you can just find out.
Absolutely.
Then on page 5, what is this with the tax lien properties?
Once again, those are. Let's see here. I'm thinking those are. Hold on a second. That's the vendor, and these are the clients who are staying.
Wow. And
Are
they're all
they
in-
foreclosures, or what? Do you know,
Mr.
Cindy?
Supervisor,
I'm
yeah,
thinking,
the gentleman that owns these property has put them under the title tax lien properties. He has many, and he continues to buy more, and that's how he's categorized them.
So he
Okay.
buys them?
He buys them and then he puts
By
them.
taxes?
No, actually, for whatever reason, it's just like we have some people that'll have 524 East State Street as the name of the owner of the new
Right.
property.
Mhm.
He's now put all of his properties under,
Under.
quote, a name of tax lien properties.
Do we know who it
Yes, I do.
Oh.
is? Okay. Do we have a right to know who that is?
Right, except I can't tell you his name off the top of my head.
Right.
I can tell you he was, he owned an insurance, and he was on Chicago Street. Somebody have any recall?
Schwartz?
Thank you.
Schwartz,
Thank
really?
you.
Jerry Schwartz.
Jerry
Schwartz?
Schwartz is tax lien properties.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Thank you.
And we have all these clients living at 602 and a half?
No, they're all different dates. Look at the dates.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
4151617.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, every month he's getting,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that's all I have.
okay, I think I had.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes, Madam
Trustee
Secretary.
Sellers is looking. On page 2,
Mhm.
I noticed that we're making payments for our IMED to Fidelity Security Life Insurance. Is that a new company, a mistake, or?
I don't know. I'm thinking that's a new company. I have to double check and find out.
Vision insurance.
Yes, vision
Yeah,
insurance for.
IMED is what we have. I
Right.
just never knew it was called Fidelity Security Life Insurance.
Maybe they changed.
That's what I was
Mhm.
wondering. If
So-
they did, I'm wondering if we need new cards.
Right. I'll
for
have to
any
check and see if
employees.
they've changed.
And then on the same page out of my office, there's a bill for Frontier. And I did ask Supervisor Sellers to make note on the next one. I
Yes.
asked for a manual check to be done, and it did get done. But I think you as the trustees need to see that notation, because we don't want any late payments.
Okay.
So this,
It was a manual check.
was a manual check,
Yes.
but it's just appearing now.
Correct.
Okay.
Right, and I think that's probably when it notes that it was paid 7/10, but I wanted you guys to know in advance that it was paid as a manual check.
Right.
Okay, and it was paid 7/10, did you say?
According to what I'm seeing on this, yes.
I don't see.
It's just
Up
above
above
the,
it says
yeah, 7/10.
Check
Mhm.
number.
Check number
710, check number.
50991.
You see it? Right above.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah,
Got it.
right there.
Got it.
Supervisor Sellers, I
Yes,
had
ma'am.
one question. I was wanting to ask, I guess Attorney Phillips also, with the prescriptions that we help get, is there any law that we, how do I want to say, have to buy pain medicine if there are any of the prescriptions of I don't know the different ones that people get for pains and stuff. Is it by law that we have to help get those, or is it just like if they need the insulin and if they need, certain medications like that? But I don't know. I don't want to say, why are we steady?
Some of those are antidepressants.
Mhm.
That Seroquel is a very strong one.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, is there
But
any
doesn't
way,
specify.
should we supply to get prescriptions that are addictive or, or
Lisa sells
Okay.
it,
anything like that? I don't know.
so I wonder who's this is.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on what the doctors recommend
Mhm.
and what they prescribe, because they have to have a prescription to get very addictive drugs, especially painkillers. And sometimes they have to, depending on what type of painkiller it may be, they have to walk it to the actual pharmacy, because in person.
Right, I know that, but what I'm saying is some of the ones that are, that you have to get with the prescription and you have to get out of the pharmacy are, and they're getting these on a regular basis. Is there any way that we can look, I know it's confidentiality, but is there any way that we can find out if this is, you're getting this prescription a little bit too much and we're supplying it? Are we- huh?
Well, I would never say that we would be making a medical judgment as to how often
Mhm.
a prescription should or should not be given.
Well, I'm saying we're supplying.
Yeah, we have certain obligations under the federal and state laws
Mhm.
to make certain payments and what they're eligible for. What I'm doing is we're trying to bring up
Okay,
a
that's
page
fine.
in here
Uh-huh.
that lists the things that we believe, but if as long as it's a prescription and the doctor has certified it's necessary, if there are a recipient, then we'll probably have to cover it, but I can give you an exact,
Mhm.
more detailed answer to that,
Okay,
once I have a chance to look at it.
okay, that's fine.
Is there certain medicines that we do have to give, or is there certain medicines we don't have to do?
That's when we have to look at see what the statute requires us to do.
Just like I said, most of these are antidepressants
Because
for
it's-
anxiety,
the statute
anti-anxiety medications.
takes
The
about
methylzine is for motion sickness
Just
and
medical
vertigo.
assistance. It doesn't specify.
Synapryl,
That's my understanding.
And if
that's an
it doesn't
antidepressant.
specify, we really
Prozac.
can't,
Yep.
It's an antidepressant.
you know.
Seroquel is a real strong one.
Very strong.
And Xanax, you know.
Right. And that's why I'm just saying, and I know some of these things are,
Lithium, same thing.
addictive or, on the street, they sell them.
Yeah.
So that's why I was,
Oh, yeah.
right, and that's a big thing that's out there now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're out there, and that's why I'm saying, we don't want to be supplying
Right.
Druggies.
Yeah.
Right,
Street
right.
So
drugs.
that's what I'm
But
saying,
if
and I
they-
know that it's a lot of that out there on the street. I mean, if
Okay.
you know the streets, it's a lot out there. So that's why my question was, what is some of this?
Most of the doctors that are prescribing this, like at the family counseling, are keeping a real close watch on how often they're asking for refills.
And the
You know, you
pharmacy
can tell them that it was
Does too.
flushed down the toilet, or my dog ate it, or
Yeah.
something like that,
Right.
and they won't give them another
Right.
refill.
Oh, okay.
They're really tight on that.
Oh, okay, okay. And then another question that I had, I know, we do a lot with Family Dollar. And just wondering, this month it was $7.96, is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to, are we looking more into what, how they're using that Family Dollar?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we
We're
are.
doing that? Okay.
So
One-
can you ask for photo ID?
Yes, we're going to be ask for photo ID, and that's when we're going to really be pushing our township ID.
Okay.
Once we get that established, when we're really pushing that. There's not, how can I put this? As township, we can only monitor so much
Mhm.
because we're not there.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of monitoring on the Family Dollars end as well to help us out with this, and they are willing to do that.
Okay.
We just have to make sure that we get a list of things that clients can buy and a list of things that clients can't buy. So
Okay.
that falls on our end.
Okay.
I just have a question. I noticed our contractual expenses keep rising and rising and rising. And I was looking at our contractual line item was only $8,722. How do we justify that we've now spent $27,000 when we only have $8,000 in the budget for that line item? I'm looking at the
Which one?
expenditures to budget.
From when?
This is dated 6/12/13. We don't have budget amounts here, but I'm concerned about if we're keeping within our budgeted line items.
Is that contractual, trustee?
Yes,
Warren, or
yes, it is.
Or is it
What page are you on?
consultants?
No, consultant is under contractual.
So the consultant line I thought was 12,000, reduced from 15
Right.
by you and the previous
Right.
administration.
That was,
But,
There was 15,000 there the previous year, and it was cut to 12.
and it was cut to 12.
okay, but we've already spent 27,000.
I don't think those numbers are correct.
No.
I'm not sure what you're looking at, because he's not given us anything for a monthly budget comparison, because they don't have
We
the
don't-
new
we don't.
numbers in the budget. They're not in that spreadsheet because the audit's not done.
Right, we just got the audit finished, so.
okay.
So
So
you're looking at-
when do we
Right.
get a report on the audit? When do the auditors come?
They'll come August 5th to talk about
August 5th.
this.
I have
Be-
one more. Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
I didn't feel it was right for them to come and talk about it tonight, because they just gave it to us tonight. Want to give you guys a chance to look over it, you guys can formulate some questions.
No problem.
Okay,
My question was also with the gas card.
yes.
Are we giving out gas cards for, I think I asked it before. Are we doing gas cards for jobs?
Job
and-
search, community training programs.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
all that stuff, or are we just giving gas cards? to gas cards?
We're giving gas cards for job searches and community work and training programs.
Okay,
Now, whether those gas cards are being used for that, I don't know.
okay,
I know that gas cards are being sold to people. I know that for a fact.
okay,
And we got to find a way to stop that.
okay.
I'm going to talk a little bit tonight under Supervisor's report about ways of really
Okay.
tightening these things up.
Okay.
There's really no way we can connect the gas card with the IDs or anything like that, is there?
I don't think we could.
Absolutely. That's something that I was
Yeah.
thinking
Okay.
about. Good job.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
I'm gonna roll call the roll.
Please call the roll, clerk.
Bender,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Joy Sellers,
Aye.
Kathy Altonsi,
Aye.
Supervisor Sellers.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Motion passed. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the approval of resolution 2013 TR 14, Adopting Loss Control Policy.
I don't understand what it says. What is the meaning of this? I read it twice and nothing jumped out at me.
Did you read the attachment?
I did.
That's the verbatim from what we received from the Township Officials of Illinois Risk Management Association. They asked us to adopt it. This is their request. There was an introductory page saying why they wanted us, they give this out to all units of government, why they wanted it adopted, but that wasn't the actual part of the policy
Because
itself.
it just seems like an ethical statement to me rather than a
Doesn't it?
specific piece
It's
of.
not a specific procedural step-by-step step. No, it is not. It just sets forth the general policy for the township.
So when they say loss prevention, what, can you define that for me?
Don't want people to get in accidents that cause us property damage or personal injuries. How to perform the duties accurately and yet safely, posing minimal, if any, threat to themselves and to other people.
So are we gonna train staff a little bit to understand that we have a new policy here that's gonna require them to be a little bit more responsible, so to speak? I don't know. This is new to me and seems more ethical than specific.
When the supervisor and I met with Sean Richardson, the representative of TORMA, Township Officials of Illinois Risk Management Association, he asked us to have the township board pass this. This is standard for members of TORMA.
Okay.
And they provide our liability coverage, so they asked us to do what we do. And I think it's inappropriate. What you just said is that to make the employees aware that let's think about what we're doing and do things in a certain safe area.
Okay.
Any more discussion?
We need a motion.
Yes, we do.
I make a motion to pass the resolution number TR 2013-14.
Second.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Trustee
Bender?
Bender.
Okay, thank you. You can do a voice vote on this.
Okay. Need a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, short pass. All right.
I'm gonna pass these around. You guys need to sign these. This is for the resolution we just passed, and this is for the claims and demands. So I'm gonna pass them around for you all to sign, please.
All
Thank
right.
you.
It's now time for the supervisor's report. It's going to be pretty lengthy, so you guys bear with me here. The first thing I want to talk about is Township's adoption of our red flag initiative. We want to do as far as rental properties and landlords. What this red flag initiative is we get lists of condemned properties and properties that are under city violation, and that's the red flag list. And what we're going to do, what we will do, is have this at the front desk for our front desk person to look at. So when a client comes in and they bring in a rental agreement, we can cross-reference that rental agreement with the addresses on this list. And if this address has been condemned or is under city violations, we will not be paying for those properties.
Good.
So that's
I don't recognize any names of people we have paid, so that's a good thing.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there's so that's something we are going to
Our usual
adopt.
people don't appear to be on here, so that's good.
That's good. But we also, this is just a preliminary list. We have a list that will be coming from the city as well, so that list will be a little bit bigger. And so that's,
So where did you get this list? Is this list was what?
that list was provided through the assessor's office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who's gonna buy it?
So any discussion, what do you guys think?
Good idea.
Looks good.
Maybe I like it.
Well,
Good.
and we're hoping that there will be even more cooperation on this. We have another list that we're going to give Supervisor Sellers. Besides this list, then there's also another compiled list that we have what we call partials, or properties that we have viewed and specifically been in, and there's interior issues. And again, it's like a quick check. Okay, are they on here? And you can sort it by street address, by owner name, however you want to do it. Street's probably the best, because I'm still finding that there's properties that we aren't matching. The checks are going to some other location other than to
Right.
the owner's name. And they could be because there's managers involved, it's because there's a contract that we don't have access to. So probably your address would be your best way to check.
So there's a lot of things we're going to cross-reference and cross-check. We got to get things straightened out, especially as it relates to rental properties and rental agreements and the money that we're spending for these properties. Okay? All righty.
I like it.
The next item on the agenda is the training for the trustees on the 19th of July. The basic training seminar. You guys remember that, right?
Remember?
Okay.
It's on my agenda.
All right. Okay. Okay. Now we brought that to you guys' attention. We'll
Do
move
we
on.
have anything that tells us, what the agenda looks like or anything?
It was in the magazine.
It was in the magazine,
Okay.
and I don't have a copy of it with me here, not a printed off copy.
Now, where's the location again?
It's going to be at Giovanni's
Oh,
in
okay,
Rockford.
yeah.
We should carpool.
Yeah.
Do we have an address for that?
Giovanni's?
Yes, 610 North Bell School Road.
It's on this northwest corner of State Street and Bell School.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right across from Steak and Shake.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay.
Right across from the Halloween.
The machine shed, all these good places.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Okay, the next thing. I had a meeting with Mayor Getz and talked to him a little bit about the I Earned It program we want to implement here at Township. I'll hand out some of the information that I have. I didn't share all this with our good mayor. I just gave him a brief rundown of what we are planning to do here at Township. This program will help to address some of your concerns with gas cards, because people who are receiving gas cards will be part of this program. And we'll know that they'll be using those gas cards to drive to these certain locations to do work, because they'll be monitored there. Okay?
Okay, I have a question with that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, for instance, one of the programs, when you give out the gas cards, you give out $25.
Yes.
Each.
Mhm.
Do they only get it one time per month? Do they get it I mean, if they're in this program and now they have to go to this job, and I'm just saying it's out at Highland. They have to go out at Highland and help pick up trash around the building. And they go out, how many times a week are they gonna have to go out? How many times are we gonna keep supplying them with the gas card to keep going out there? You know, say for instance, they use the gas card, they put gas in their car, they went out there, now tomorrow they're saying, well, I don't have any more gas, I need another gas card to go back out there again. I
Right.
mean, it's,
The plan is
okay.
clients will be asked to go to work sites twice per week.
Okay.
Now, we will supply the gas for them to go for that week. We will. But if you come back the next day after we give you a gas card and say you need gas because you're out of gas, we can't supply you with gas every day.
Okay.
That's not what this is for. So
So the next week, will they get another gas card?
if they are asked to go to
And
to
will-
these job
will
sites.
it be
Yes.
$25 again?
Well, we'll have to look into it and see if we can make adjustments to it somehow. Because one thing about it, if they are going to these sites,
Mhm.
we have to supply them with gas.
Right.
That's through the community work and training program. It's what we do. We're doing it now when we're supplying gas cards, and they're going for microwave cooking classes and for container gardening classes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll have to supply them, with gas to go to these different work sites. So how often? That's something we need to look into.
Yeah.
A
Because
lot
if
of the
it's
places they probably can walk to.
some.
Other people walk to work. I have people that walk from clear out on Empires, on East Empire Street.
Right.
They walk to work.
Right.
The girl.
And I was just asking that question because, it's always a game.
Yeah,
Right,
Somebody's always got a
exactly,
game.
right.
And
Well-
the reason why I can't do it is because I don't have gas. But that's why I'm saying we need to, because if you're getting, in 2 weeks, you didn't have $50 worth of gas, that's a lot of gas.
That's a lot of gas, right?
Yeah, right.
But
So
that's why we're making sure that we're trying to connect with the Park District, because a lot of our clients are on this side of town. We're connected with the downtown, Freeport downtown development, and with the city of Freeport, because if they have a job site at Taylor Park, you can walk to Taylor Park. It's right across the bridge.
Right.
Or if we have a job site downtown, cleaning out the flower beds, you can walk right downtown. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're going to try and limit a lot of our traveling, like
Okay.
going out by Highland and doing this and going. We're going to limit that.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So it has to be a unit of local government or a not-for-profit?
Not-for-profit, yes.
Yep, we got lots of them.
Yes, we do.
Now, do we have a list of units of local government and not-for-profits that are willing to participate in this?
That's what we're working on now. We're getting that list together. We already have the city on board.
Salvation Army's on board.
Salvation Army's on board, all right. I'm meeting tomorrow with Steve Elbeck from the Park District. I'm going to get those guys on board. We're going to move this thing. We're going to push this thing. I talked to Mayor Gitz, and he was very excited about it. He wants to do it citywide. It sounds great, but it has to start here at Township. It starts with us. Okay?
We've got the population.
That's right. Okay?
Okay. Are we limited then to the kinds of services that are listed here? Lawn care, community cleaning, general labor, painting and maintenance?
Yes, we are, and that list is going to get even more confined.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. When you have someone out with a weed whacker, they have to be trained to use a weed whacker for the city. And if they're not trained and they hurt themselves, then we're liable. But you don't have to be trained to use a rake or to use something to pick up trash. You don't have to be trained for that.
Our city should be clean.
Our city should be clean. Yes,
Absolutely.
it should be.
Do you think, I'm just asking because I don't know, when you said that, is there any way that they can work with maybe some of the garbage companies?
Not
That's not for
not-for-profit.
Not
profit.
not-for-profit.
That's not
It's
for
not,
profit.
is
No,
it?
no,
Okay.
not for
So
profit.
do they have to be supervised, Mr. Sellers,
Yes.
when they're doing this?
Yes.
So the supervision will be provided by the city or whoever? Or
No, we're getting volunteers. People are volunteering to supervise just
Okay.
for, they'll be there maybe a couple hours a day. So it's not like you have to supervise and be there for 8 hours, no. Just volunteer
You
some of
might
your
be
time.
assigned to somebody who's got a specific
Right,
2-hour,
right.
okay. Do we have a catchment of volunteers yet?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Mrs. Kennison, Barb Kennison, she's gonna be our volunteer coordinator to help us get volunteers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Who put this together, Patrick?
I did.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. You guys
I
should
like
see
the
guys see
first time a
PowerPoint.
client misses a day of work, he or she will be terminated.
And sanctioned for 90 days.
90
Yeah,
days.
I like that,
And
with no benefit.
The reason why we're doing it that way, if you do a no call, no show at your job, you can be terminated. You can't be. I mean, the community work and training program that we have in place now, if you miss one of those sections, one of the sessions, you are terminated and sanctioned for 90 days. So this program should be no different.
So what if they have a medical condition or an emergency?
Oh, yes, that's understandable. Yes, but a no call, no show, and you come with a lame excuse,
Okay.
no.
So but if they call ahead with a medical issue
Yes,
or an
yes.
emergency of some
But it
kind?
can't be, I have a headache,
Right.
my stomach hurt.
Right, no, no.
My shoulder's hurting.
Right.
You know, it
Doctor's
should be a
excuse?
doctor, yeah, it should be something.
And
I
none
have
of,
that at Township. DHS is set up
Right.
actually the same way as he's setting this up.
Mhm.
and none of
And
the,
if they call in and they're sick, okay, you know, bring me something from the doctor.
Mhm.
If you have a headache, you know, oh gee, I got a headache too, guys, you better
Yeah.
come in.
yeah, you have to come
Because the
in.
minute they don't come in, I call DHS
No,
to
okay.
report that they, you know, if they don't call,
Mhm.
no call, no show, they take them right off of it too.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yes.
What if there's somebody that's on Township that has a documented disability, or somebody
That's
that's
different.
waiting for a
That's
disability?
that's
to kick
different.
in?
I have it in
And
here.
that's
They're
why
ineligible
pain
then.
pills
They're not-
and
they're not-
psychotic.
They're not eligible for the iron dip
psychotropic
program.
drugs. Okay.
If they are disabled, have a compensation, work compensation claim pending, if they are pending disability, they're not eligible for this program.
Okay.
Because once they get their disability, they don't get township.
They can't
anymore.
work.
Yeah.
Right.
But within the disability, it has to either be, it's gotta be a physical disability, not mental
Well,
No, it
disability.
can be mental.
it can be mental as well. Can be,
Really?
Call them
especially
to-
for this program.
Well, you want to be careful that you're not
You bet, you
putting
don't want somebody unstable.
somebody in
Oh,
jeopardy.
yeah, that's why
Right.
they're on the medication.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously. But if you have somebody that might have, you know, some bipolar issues or manic issues, or just in general, don't like to be around people, but yet they can shovel driveways for money in the wintertime and mow lawns and rake and stuff. And we don't know about that, but because they get paid cash, why wouldn't they be able to participate in this? You know, as long as the doctor said, yeah, you're okay
Right.
physically to do
Right.
this.
As long
And-
as we don't have a
And
liability.
what we have in place, these clients will be directed to have a employment physical prior to starting this program. You go to the health department and get a physical, they'll clear you that you are able to work. Okay,
Because even, it might even be a non-for-profit where they might even be doing filing. You know, you can do that. That's not really
Right.
something that you have to really be liable for, filing papers.
But-
Just
but we will
doing
still-
something.
but we will still
That's
have
it, yeah.
programs here
Yeah.
for people who can't do this type of program. I know one thing I'm really gonna push is a adult literacy program. I'm really pushing that.
Yeah, we have to have.
Yes. So,
And we've got the space to
Mhm.
kind of do that here, if we could do that. Now, what about the other things that they're supposed to be doing, like looking for a job and
oh, they're still responsible to do
going
that too.
through,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, the list at the unemployment office?
Yes.
Now,
What unemployment office?
do we have computers here available to people to get on to look for unemployment
They can go to
jobs?
the library every
No,
day,
we
they all
don't.
go there.
We've never had,
It's a
have they ever
library.
had them here for?
No.
Well, we talked about getting them here when we moved here, that we might be able to have
A computer lab or something like
some
that.
kind of a lab, because if we're gonna talk about literacy, you know, training, and we're gonna, that would, to me, mean more computers. And that we should probably maximize the use of them, but then,
Yeah. But we can at least-
do they, when they go on the computers at the library, do they have to bring you a printout that they were on, or how do
They
you know?
bring their job search
Yeah.
forms in.
Okay,
They bring their job search forms.
so when they go on the computer, then they fill out these job search
Mhm.
forms? Okay.
Good idea, looks like you've got it on the
I
road.
like it.
I
Good,
like it.
good, good, good. All right.
So what are these clients going to be notified of, and when is the program gonna start?
Well, the next step for us now is what would be getting the agencies on board to put people in place. Once we get that, I mean, we don't have to have the major list just yet. I mean, the way I see it, once we get clients going, get them working, other agencies are going to want to jump on board and utilize our clients for our services. So we just got to get at least 4.
Okay.
We have the city now, we have Salvation Army, hopefully we'll get the Park District, and I'm going to look for Freeport downtown development as well. We can get those 4. we can get on the road.
See, actually, Joy, on Wednesday, I have a mobile pantry, semi coming in. I could utilize those for like 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
And I'm right there,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
And that's
Oh, okay, good.
And if it started by the 31st, I have another mobile coming in
Okay.
there.
we'll
So-
put 'em-
It's still
we'll step on the
Thursday?
gas.
For the last
No, I've got
Wednesday.
2 this month.
Oh, do you?
We'll step on the gas then.
How about FACC? Do they have, do
They take a
also-
few, but they don't like to do a lot.
Oh, okay.
They don't like the bookwork.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, I like it.
all right.
Can you just kind of keep us updated?
Absolutely.
As you go along and start on board?
Absolutely.
Do we have to notify clients of the new program, or is,
Oh, yeah, we'll notify them of the new program.
do they get so many days notice, or, you know, I can't remember
We won't.
anymore, but it seemed to me that every time we changed something, we had to
Mhm.
notice all the clients.
We'll give the clients ample notice
Okay.
before we do that. Alrighty, now, the next thing on the agenda is the reduction of the grant allotment from 275 to 245.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Reason?
Well, our assessed property values dropped,
That's a lot.
and it's dropped quite a bit, and with a smaller tax base to pull from, it only makes sense.
Okay, do we know what we got in this, last year and what we're getting this year?
That's the assessor
As far as
price.
the loss,
Yeah.
the loss last year.
Well, I was looking at our revenue.
$10,000 or something, 10 million.
I'm sorry, I thought I had it here. I just didn't see any reduction in the revenue that we had set up for this year, but then,
Well, that number was provided by Supervisor Hooper. But I believe if you look at the audit, in fact, there was a loss of $31,000 between last year and this year on the property tax. And that just generalized, and I'm sorry, I'm not. Page 8 of your gray, and that's, I believe, shows you property taxes. In 2012, we had 991, 798, and in 2013, we received 960, 292. So that's a $31,000.
okay, do we have all of our property tax in yet?
For 2013, I'm sure not.
Okay, so we
No.
only know what we have
No,
in
this is the
12.
12-13. This is the closure. This is the closed audit.
So we don't have
This is
13,
the dollars
14 yet.
we were able to receive.
So for, was 991,
in
Property
2012.
tax.
And this year, this fiscal year, we received 960,292.
okay, so for 2012-13, so we don't know yet exactly what we've got for 2013, 2014 yet.
We know it's gonna be a lot less, substantially less. Your loss in base last year was 10,600,000. Your loss in base this year is gonna be roughly 22 million.
Wow.
Okay, because I was looking at our monthly revenue, the year activity, and it looks like we plugged in 599. Is that?
Again, what sheets are you looking at?
Well, I'm just looking at something that I was given on 6/12.
That's the
The monthly
report that I
revenue.
was commenting to you that it's not completed. They gave that to us to kind of look at, but we don't have the budgeted dollars are not
Okay,
in there.
okay.
So it's a little hard to determine. You'd have to go back and look at what the actual budget was.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. I can have to pull that out today.
That's all right.
I just got the stuff in the mail. Okay.
Right now, we have 105 receiving clients and 24 pending clients. With this possible reduction in allotment, that could save us $3,870 per month. it could save us $46,440 per year, and over the 4-year term, $185,760.
Okay, so what was your first figure, 105
Receiving clients.
Receiving.
And 24 pending.
and 24 pending?
Yes.
How many can we have on our, how many can we?
What's our
take?
max?
Yeah.
Well, we
There is
can't
no max.
refuse
There is
any
no
of
max.
that.
There is no max.
Oh, okay.
There is no max.
Well, so where do you get money if you don't have it? I mean, if you,
Exactly. That's
I'd
a good
like to
question.
figure that one out. Now, where do you
That's
get
a
it
good-
if you don't have it? Who, you know, I don't
You know,
understand.
What, that's an excellent question. And with this, and with our property values going
Right.
down,
I don't understand
our,
it.
our pool is going to shrink. So we need to, my thoughts are hope for the best, plan for the worst. And we need to start planning.
Right.
But
Because-
if we
my thoughts.
reduce, I'm sorry,
Oh, that's
Joy.
all right, go ahead.
If we reduce from 275 to 245, that might be a little bit of a cushion there if we get additional clients, I would think.
And the way
I
the
mean,
economy is
it would
looking.
be a way to
Right.
well, and I picked this up from
Maybe tell me about
Ormond,
that.
that we are anticipating a larger number
Yes.
of clients.
Yeah,
I just got that in the mail,
Yes.
and they were saying that we could anticipate a larger number of clients. So I'm concerned that this might not necessarily be a savings, but it might be our ability to serve
help more.
people.
Mhm.
You
Help
know,
more.
if it drops from 275 to 245, it was always an issue when we reduced the payments before,
I know.
that it was a way that we could serve more people.
And I also think that with the work program, it might eliminate some people.
That should eliminate
Yeah,
some
it should
people.
eliminate some
Some
of them,
people that
especially
don't
the
wanna do it.
longevity ones that,
Yeah.
you know.
And especially if you send them to work early in the
Right,
morning.
yeah, and which I,
You don't
know,
send me to work at 8 in the morning.
Right,
Yeah.
send them early in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to be at work at 8.
Well, this'll be a good tool to see.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Didn't they have that years and years
Mhm.
ago?
She
Yep.
had it years ago, Sheila.
Yeah.
Sheila sister ran it.
Mhm.
Pat,
Yeah.
Community work
Yeah.
and training.
yeah.
Yeah,
They should
I
have
know
never
that.
stopped it.
I was here when she was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they should have kept it.
Yeah, they should have kept
Yes.
that.
But didn't you say at one time that the state of Illinois, that 245 is an average monthly?
That's, yeah.
So we were actually above that
Yes.
for the longest time.
Yes.
Well,
Did I
and
say
we had
that was our
reduced
maximum?
from
Maximum.
300
Yeah.
to 275.
That's the
Yeah.
maximum allowed by our rule.
245
It's
is?
245.
Yeah,
So why don't we
Maximum.
wait
I
at
thought,
275?
because she wanted to.
I don't know.
Oh, it wasn't
Wow.
because we wanted to,
It
we had
was-
already
Yeah.
reduced before, so.
And
She
got rid
had
of
it too
the,
high.
Yeah, we're gonna,
245, we should have stayed
well,
at
we're gonna have to
245.
reduce
Yeah,
again.
Well, we didn't
Yeah.
increase it, we dropped from 300 to 275.
Wow, it was
Okay.
going 300, wow.
Oh, we were giving them 350 at one time.
Oh, wow.
You remember that? Mm-hmm.
and
Wow.
when they had family cases here.
And
Mm-hmm.
we can't afford that one.
No, we're,
Okay.
we're where it should be.
So I just want to
Okay.
let you guys
Good,
know about
good.
that.
Let's get this rolling.
We'll have to get letters out to the landlords and to
Mm-hmm.
the clients. Everyone will have ample notice before this
How
change
long
hits.
do they, what's, there, it seemed to me there was a period of time that they're given.
I'll have to look. I
30
think it might be
days.
30
I
days.
think it was 30 days
Yeah.
or 60 days.
30 days.
30 days.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
don't
when-
know, it's in the state statute, how
Okay.
long they're allowed to,
I'll look
or
at,
how long they're given notice for.
and whatever that time
Whatever
is,
that is in the
we'll honor
statute, yeah.
that, so. okay.
Ran in my mind, it was 60 days, but I could be wrong.
And do you think that maybe when they come for their CWP appointment, he could hand deliver it to them and
Sure
then
you
they
could,
have to sign?
as long as they
Yeah.
have something and
Say
they
the
sign it,
postage,
so
then
that
they
they know
would
it's.
Say, well, I didn't know
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
about
Right.
it, no. You
Sign
know.
it and give them a copy.
Right. 30 days sounds good to me.
Well, I think the statute dictates how long.
Yeah, I know,
They're
but
given.
the state dictates a lot of things that,
Mhm. Well, and we have
I
to
don't
be careful,
understand.
because if we don't
Right, we can be.
comply, then
sued.
we're
oh, I know that,
considered
but I'm just saying,
non-compliance.
I'm just saying the state needs to look at, You know, some of these people are longevity and.
Okay.
Well, they
It's
do it with
ridiculous.
public aid, don't they?
Everybody
Well,
You
else?
can only be
5
on public
years.
aid.
Yeah,
5
Just
so I'm
years.
saying,
Wow.
how can you make a lifer out of township when you only can be on
5
public
years.
aid for
Yeah,
5
5
years? That
years.
makes no sense to me. Why should the taxpayers have to, you know, continually give that out? That's my, okay, we can move on.
All right, the next thing on the agenda is the date for the audit report from the auditors, which is August 5th. They'll be in to explain the audit to everyone. And I talked to you, everyone, about the clients that are receiving in the open, and the open is pending, so we have 105 receiving, 24 pending, so 129 altogether.
Is that the first count you've taken, Mr. Sellers, or do you have it for every month?
I have it for this month. I have it for,
I'm just curious what it looked like before.
we were at, oh boy.
I think we're
That's
about the
okay.
same.
Yeah, we were about the same, close to.
Okay.
Because it
this
used to be
is-
145.
Yeah,
I remember
so
going.
we're about the same, but I'm looking for this number to increase.
That's that little
Looking
note that
for
we
it to
got from
increase.
Tormund. I thought I threw it in here because I thought
Especially
that
with
was
the,
interesting that
with
they
the-
were sort of forewarning
Mhm.
that we would be seeing an increase.
all right, and we had a,
You've got so many new people moving into Freeport.
yeah,
Last month, we had 56 new families coming to the pantry who've
At
never been to the
Salvation
Salvation Army
Army.
before.
Wow.
The month before, we had 47, and the month before was 46.
And we need to find out, why are these people?
Those are mostly all people out of Chicago.
And why are they attracting to Freeport?
It's cheaper here, you don't have to stand in line as long at your,
Right.
But how are
The-
they
the
knowing
big
about
issue-
Freeport?
oh,
Transportation,
they have
you can actually
relatives.
get around to
They
them.
have a lot of relatives
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
And it's easy.
yes.
Oh, no, I lost my train of thought here. Oh, that issue of, are we billing back to their home townships?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because I
Mhm.
think we've got 6 months.
We have 6
can
months.
bill back
Yes.
to their home township. And a lot of times, what we require them to do here is not always required of them to do where they came from, and so they don't always stick around
Stay
very
around.
long. Yeah,
That's right.
so that is a really, a big bonus.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a check returned to us from a landlord whose client went to jail, and he didn't want to. He wanted to give us that check
Well, good.
back. I think word is starting to get around that we are serious down here,
Well, good.
and that we are really checking and looking. So that's good. That's good. That's a
Where
good
the
thing.
mayor is too,
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
doing the same thing.
Alrighty. So the property tax distribution report will be sent out on the 16th. So I'll have that for the trustees on the 5th.
You mean July 16th or August 16th?
July 16th.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Should be tomorrow.
Yes, should be tomorrow. Guess that's it for me. Anything from the assessor?
Well, I just, actually, I don't have any reports other than we're working on the 2013 assessments. We do know that there's going to be a serious decline. The estimated loss is going to be about 22 million plus off of the base. And that's because 2009 is being dropped when they do, the state does the 3-year sales ratio study. That year was dropped, and our median has been roughly 38%. We're to be at 33, so it's not going to be good news. And another reason why I think Supervisor Sellers is opting to reduce the grants. He is correct, property values are declining. If the property values are declining, the rent should follow, but that's not necessarily what landlords would like to do. I just thought this was interesting, just wanted to share with you, this was in the newspaper this weekend, about the foreclosures fall after court fees increase. You have to love the state where they took it upon themselves to, I think, slow foreclosures down, they raised the fee for residential from $317 to $367, up 15%. Now, commercials, they took from $267 to file for foreclosure to $867. Their goal was to slow the foreclosures down and I think make it lucrative for them in the same sense. And the comment is they're gonna wait to see how this is impacting. And there was a big shift in the month of May to get a lot of foreclosures done because the lending institutions knew this was coming, so they preempted it. And you'll note in the last sentence, the counties only get 10% of the higher fees, so the state's taking the money. But I just thought it was an interesting informational piece for you guys to get a handle on when they talk about the foreclosures. We'll see it because we track them each month, so it'll be very interesting for us to see if we find that there actually is a reduction.
What about our local commercial folks? Are their taxes staying pretty stable? Are they staying the same?
Nobody's taxes is staying stable.
Are they being reduced?
Their taxes I don't do, their assessments I do. If their assessments were to go down, even though they went down, the rates went up. As we did, I believe our rate last year was 10.37. Where are we at? 11.8.
Even with the commercials?
You can, even with the commercial, you can look at approximately a 12.5 tax rate next year. I'm just telling you now, you need to be prepared that the only way you're going to get the money that's needed to operate, and that's to raise the rates. I've lowered assessments and people's tax bills went up.
Everybody's complained about it.
So there is no, from my end, I'm only responsible to follow the market. The rates, on the other hand, are handled by the taxing bodies. And if they would, try to live within their means, maybe, but I've been harping on that for 33 years, so I don't see anybody listening too clearly on that one.
So who's raising their rates that you know right now?
Everybody's raised theirs. Everybody, I think everybody but maybe one, when I looked at the
You mean the
tax
parks, the
bill.
school?
Mhm. Right.
Did
Highland,
we
I
raise
believe,
ours?
I think Highland is the only one who went backwards, I think. But I don't have that in front of me.
Now Township didn't raise theirs, did they?
The rate, I think everybody raised theirs.
The rate is determined by the county.
Correct. Correct.
Depend-
So our dollar request.
Right.
Thank you, Mike, for clarifying that. Yes. But anyway, yeah. There's not a lot of good news from me, so just don't ask me too often.
Thanks for telling us.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. It's now time for the trustees report. Any trustees would like to speak on anything?
Well, the budget comparisons will come after we get this report done. Okay, that was all I was really, concerned about.
Okay.
My pen just ran out of ink. I need to get it. Thank you.
All right. Under other, that would be me. We had to cut a manual check in order to cover our catastrophic insurance. This was supposed to have been paid on the May 7th of this year, but it wasn't. And I got a letter sent to me from them stating that our coverage would lapse. So we had to cut this. We had to cut them a manual check to be sent.
Is that
to
about
them.
25,000? Is that what we pay or what?
No.
What do we pay?
It was 2,300 last year, and it's 1,900 something now. It went down. For
Okay,
us.
maybe I'm thinking about what it covers.
Yeah, the coverage.
Mhm.
You talk about the coverage. Yep.
So that catastrophic insurance covers if we get a client and they wind up with something very serious.
Yes.
And it's $100,000. then this kicks in,
We're covered up to $1 million.
covers to $1 million?
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't happen very often, but
No.
every once in a
Right.
while,
Right.
you
Well,
can
why
get
would-
really stuck.
Oh, those flies, that's driving me crazy. But why, wasn't it paid, I guess? I wanna know that.
I don't know, maybe it was forgotten, I don't know.
Okay.
But,
Probably got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
That was a lot of shuffling going on.
but we got it, we'll get the check sent off to them probably tomorrow, so we can make sure we're covered, because it expires, well, it's actually expired on the 1st of July.
Oh, wow.
But they gave us a grace period of 30 days. So we're gonna get that sent off to them, so we can
Okay, good.
have any lapse in our insurance coverage. Okay?
I'm just thinking of something that I forgot about. This workers' compensation, is that to cover the I Earned It folks? Okay,
And we don't pay anything for it.
right, right. I saw that. But I wasn't really sure who it covered, because I thought, well, if they're working for somebody, they would have the insurance. but
Right. No, it's
now
just through us.
The I Earned It would
Yes.
be through us.
Mhm, it's
Okay.
through us. And that was a good question, because the first thing the Park District asked me
Yeah.
was, well, who's gonna
Yeah,
cover them?
yeah,
I said, well, we
right.
have it on our end.
Right.
So they were, that, you could hear their voices lighten up a little bit on the phone when I
Oh,
said that.
Jack would be very, very
Yeah.
upfront with that one, I'm sure.
And that's good, that's
He
good.
gets real cautious.
That's good. Alrighty. We have public comments now. Anybody in the public would like to say? Ms. Marta, please.
Martin Mashevitz, Superintendent for the Veterans Assistance Commission of Stevenson County. A
Welcome.
couple of things. First on the condemned properties.
Mhm.
If somebody comes in with an address for a condemned property, are you saying you're denying them an application?
No, not an application. No, we can't deny an application. But what we can do, by state statute, we cannot pay for a condemned property from the state of condemned property.
Okay, I just needed clarification
Yes.
on what you meant there.
And no, we don't deny.
And then on
Or an
the,
ordinance, or property that's in violation.
Yes, so probably that's in
Not
violation.
just condemned, or if it's in violation of some applicable code, we're forbidden from paying for it.
Right.
okay, thank
Do you have a copy of this, Myrna?
No, I
Do
don't.
we have an extra
I'll
copy
give her
of
one.
that for her?
Mhm.
And then on the I Earned It program,
Mm-hmm.
have you trained the township staff yet on that?
Far as, how
Is
about?
that program,
Oh, no, I haven't trained anyone on that yet.
I was just hoping that I could get in
Yes.
on that, because we do have some of our veterans that would be eligible for that program.
Absolutely.
We have some that would be ineligible for medical reasons, but
Okay.
I know we have a couple that would be suitable for that.
But once I
program.
bring it to the township staff and we discuss, you can be in on the conversation, on the discussion. I would like that, that would be
I
great.
need to be, because
Yes.
I need to hear it more than once.
Mhm. I understand. I totally understand.
And then one question about the physicals. that
Yes.
You said that they would have. Is township paying for those?
Yes, we would have to cover that. It's $25, I'm thinking, that we would cover
That
for
would
that.
be at the community. center,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Well, now it's time for us to go into executive session to discuss the,
I have a comment on that one.
yes?
I guess I don't understand the executive session, and I guess I brought it up to you before, Mr. Phillips. I don't understand us shutting down, going into executive session and talking about it with the confidentiality and all of that when it's out there. I guess I don't understand us getting up, leaving, going into executive session when it's already out there. People have already talked about it, and then we have to do that. I guess I don't understand what executive session would really mean at this point with this particular subject that we're going in for.
Well, the issue that you referred to may be out there. I mean, in other words, some people may know about it, but how the township views it If you have specific questions you're asking of your attorney, and I want to give you a frank, but if I say it with everybody around, then everybody's going to know what we're thinking or what the legal parameters we think there are at this time. It's hard for me to give a frank and open answer with people who are maybe around who are not part of the decision making. That's why you're limited to, in those very few cases in which you're allowed to go into executive session, in order to maintain confidentiality and so you can get free flow of information that you do it in a confidential setting, as the statute allows.
I mean, and I understand that, but I'm just saying that it's not really confidential. You know what I mean? I mean, and I guess you.
98% of it is,
Oh.
2% isn't.
Okay.
The fact that it
But
exists.
it's out there, you know, that's why I'm saying.
But there's a lot of other aspects of it that
Okay.
are not out there.
Okay. So is it really confidential? So if I leave up out of there, I can go talk about it, or no?
Well, according to the Attorney General, the answer to that is yes.
I can go talk about it?
That's what they said.
Okay.
In
Okay.
1987, the Attorney General, Roland Bursk, issued a formal opinion
Yep,
saying
you
you cannot
told us that,
penalize a
yep.
board member for revealing the contents of an executive
Right.
session.
Yep, I remember you telling us that. Okay, I just wanted more clarification on it, so, okay.
Okay. Executive session to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the township. Particular parcel should be acquired per 5 ILCS 120/2C5. I need a motion to go into executive session.
I make the motion that we go into executive session to talk about the purchase or lease of real property.
I second.
So motion by Bender, second by Hawkins.
Okay, Joy Sellers,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Bender,
Aye.
Aldensee,
Aye.
Sellers.
Aye.
We are now in executive session.
Executive session.